Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Je voudrais du soleil vert, des dentelles et des théières, des photos de bord de mer dans mon jardin d'hiver. Je voudrais du Fred Astaire, revoir un latte Goer, des photos de bord de mer dans mon jardin d'hiver. Ma robe à fleurs sous la pluie de novembre, mes mains qui courent, je n'en peux plus de t'attendre. Les années passent, qu'il est loin l'âge tend. Nul ne peut nous entendre. Je voudrais du Fred Astaire, revoir un latte Goer. Je voudrais toujours te plaire dans mon jardin d'hiver. Je veux déjeuner par terre comme au long des golfes clairs, t'embrasser les yeux ouverts dans mon jardin d'hiver. Ma robe à fleurs sous la pluie de novembre, mes mains qui courent, je n'en peux plus de t'attendre. Les années passent, qu'il est loin l'âge tendre. Nul ne peut nous entendre. Shabba-ba-da-dway, ba-da-dway-ya-da-ba-da-ya, ba-ya-da-ba-ya, ba-da-ba-dway, ba-da-dway, dans mon jardin d'hiver.
All right. Well, hi to everyone out there. It's a pleasure to be joining Craig and Sarah's live stream today. We're very excited. You already know Diane. You saw her earlier on, and Diane had to rush over from where she was teaching over to my studio here, where she and I are both actually in the same place. But Michael Herring, who is playing bass there, he is actually about 500 kilometers or about 300 miles away from us. And Dave Renaud, who's playing clarinet, he is, I don't know what.
In Quebec?
Yeah, a little, not too
Across
far
the
away,
river.
maybe 30 kilometers, something like that. But we are all in separate locations. And so we have been, last year at the beginning of the pandemic, I started this thing called Sync Space Live. There's so much I could tell you about it, but I'm just going to quickly just run through a couple of things just to sort of let you know. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to the Sync Space Live website, and you'll find out there a bunch of stuff. You can also check out on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel, and you'll see recordings from excerpts from some of the previous concerts that we've done, and also trailers that we release each week, which are often shot just at rehearsals. And mostly what we're going to talk about today is something called Sync Space Perform, which is allowing us to do this kind of thing, to perform over the internet together. And we are doing shows basically every week at Sync Space with musicians, professional musicians playing from all kinds of different cities, playing together. Sometimes we're even playing across the border, across the Canadian-US border. There's also something that you might be really interested in, which is called Sync Space Teach, which is a new thing. It's sort of very different to this. And one reason you might be interested in if you're a teacher, but also I think it could be really interesting for people who are running uke jams as well. And that product is in beta right now. And just a few other plugs before we sort of go on with the music here. So as I mentioned, we're doing concerts every week, and we've got a show next Friday. And I wanted to invite you to come and watch that show. Now, it's going to be interesting. It's the music of Ornette Coleman, which is not necessarily very uke-like, although there's no reason why you couldn't play Ornette Coleman on a uke. But you can get a free ticket to that. So I've created a coupon for you. Craig and Sarah is the coupon code, and you can use that when you go to the website, and you can get a free ticket to the show. And one of the things that you can do with that is you can actually watch any of our shows live. You can watch it on YouTube and watch it later on YouTube, watch the recording, or you can do something which is totally mind-blowing, which is you can actually go inside a sort of a virtual club and hang out with other people and talk to those people while you are watching the show together and all listening together in your headphones. So it's pretty mind-blowing. So basically what we are doing right now is, we're all seeing one another, right? We're all in different places, in different cities. We're all seeing one another. We're hearing one another. We can play together. We could even play very, very fast if we wanted to. And it just all works. And even like today, we're basically doing this little sort of a gig with very minimal preparation, right? But because we are able to negotiate everything in real time, it all works. So I'm going to shut up for now, and maybe let the guys go on with another tune.
Thanks, Adrian. I just want to say I watched a concert, one of the Sync Space concerts with my mom in the virtual venue during the pandemic when Quebec, the province of Quebec, which is where my parents live, was on lockdown. And it was so exciting to see her. Like, she was in Montreal, I was in Ottawa, but we were able to sit together and see each other on screen while also watching a concert on a big screen in this virtual venue. And it was very moving to me to be able to do that as if I was in a virtual club with her, even when we were very far apart. So yeah. I'm so grateful to the Sync Space platform for that. And the other thing that's really cool about Sync Space Teach, which is that other platform that Adrian's talking about that he's developed, is it's got a whiteboard in it and skeleton chords, so you can draw in real time, you can draw in like chord diagrams if you need to. So if you're running a jam or you're teaching, you can just sketch and all your students can see it. It's really cool.
Yeah, and just to answer a question in the chat about the audio, the audio should be really good, right? Like the fidelity of what we're doing is really good, and it's often better than some live streams. Some live streams you hear either in a real in an in-person venue or when the musicians are even in the same room. Now, someone did mention in the chat that the audio seems out of sync, and that is usually not ever the case for us. So, sometimes when you watch any YouTube, it could also
be at their end. Sometimes you have to refresh. Yeah. You have to refresh your browser.
Okay, we'll let you guys go on.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do Too Marvelous for Words, because we've been talking about this, and you guys already know the chords, or somewhat, and I would encourage you to either play, if you don't want to play along with us, listen to Michael Herring on the bass and listen to him playing, how he's playing the roots. And of course, he's not going to be doing like 2, 5, 1. He's not going to just be doing that. He's going to be playing like, Michael, do you want to show them the difference between like playing whole notes and like a walking bass line?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like if it was just the roots, it'd be, well, a walking bass line is like all 4 quarter notes in every bar. So if I played just the roots, it'd be like this. And then you can fill it in with chords. Triads, I guess. Or you can use scales. And chromatic notes too, I cheated. I jumped 3 bass lessons there.
That's cool. This is awesome. You guys are getting like a mini bass lesson from one of Canada's finest bassists. This is awesome. Thanks, Michael. So you guys will recognize we did that in the uke workshop. I was getting them to play roots on the uke, and we were just doing exactly what you did the first time. We were doing like D, G, C. But now what you're going to be listening for, you guys, is Michael's not always going to be playing the root. Obviously, as he's walking from one root to the next, he's doing interesting things. That's the bassist's job, is to make it sound interesting as he moves from one chord to the next. But usually, am I right, Michael, in saying that usually on the downbeat of each significant chord change, you will be hitting the root, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you guys will be able to hear whenever the chord changes when you're watching on your chart, you'll hear him hit that root. And that's going to tell you, oh, the chord has changed. And you'll also hear it in the uke. But the bass is the thing you should be listening for first and foremost. Okay, I'll stop now. We'll start with the Two Marvelous. And Dave Renaud on the clarinet is going to bring us in. We're going to do the last 8 bars as an intro. So the last A section. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're much too marvelous for words like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. You're just too wonderful. I'll never find the words that tell enough, spell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too much. You're very, very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. You're much too marvelous for words like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. You're just too wonderful. I'll never find the words that tell enough, spell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too much, too very, very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for
Awesome. So the other thing I didn't mention is that while the band is playing, I'm trying to mix all the sound live and also trying to switch all the cameras. And you can see actually that we didn't rehearse that much because I'm trying to keep up with what the band is doing and trying to figure out what's happening. But that's how you know it's live.
Yeah. And Adrian, if you can just put the camera on me for a second, I just wanted to explain one thing to everybody about how we ended that tune. Because you'll remember that when I was teaching the workshop, I was telling you that I didn't think that particular inversion of C major 7 was a hot chord to end on if you're planning to sing the tonic, right? So if you're singing too marvelous for words, and then you have that B natural right under your voice might throw you off. So remember I had said that you might want to do a different C major 7 that hides that dissonance on like an inner voice. And you may be saying, well, how come she ended on C major 7 just there when she told us sort of not to, right? But two things. We did a walk down. We ended that tune by going like E flat major 7, D major 7, D flat major 7, C major 7. And you'll notice I didn't sing the tonic. I didn't sing too marvelous for words. I sang too marvelous for words. Where is that? I sang it up there, right? It's a G. I sang the fifth in the chord. I sang the perfect fifth. And so because I did that, there's no more dissonance anymore, right? There's no clash in there. It sounds fine. So you don't have to avoid that particular voicing if you change the last note that you sing. I also could have sung too marvelous for words. So if I end on D, that also works really nice, and the D will work well with the C add 9 chord we talked about, the C 6-9, the C major 7, all of that. It's going to sound really pretty because D is like almost like when you think of landing on the note C when you sing the song and finish on C, it's like you've shut the door to the house, you've landed, you've arrived at home, and that's the end of the story. But somehow I feel like when you end on the 9 like that, it's as if you end the movie and you've opened the door. It's like you're going somewhere. Maybe you're going somewhere new. It has this kind of open-ended quality of like, we don't know where this might head next, right? So that's just something to think about. You don't always have to end on the tonic. You don't have to end on the note of the key of the song. All right. All right. And now we're going to do, I know we have some people from Brazil joining us today, and we're going to do a lovely song from Brazil, from one of Brazilian's greatest composers of the 20th century, Antonio Carlos Jobim. This is a song I always think of my grandma when I sing this song. My mom and my mother and my grandmother are from a part of India that used to be part of Portugal called Goa. And my grandmother's mother tongue was Portuguese. And when she moved to Canada, you couldn't get a lot of different television stations that had lots of different languages. And so she would watch anything from Brazil that she could get. And sometimes the only thing she could get on the Brazilian TV channel was soccer. And my grandma was not a big soccer fan, but she just wanted to hear Portuguese spoken in any way, shape, or form, even if she had to listen to like soccer commentary. So I always think of my grandma when I sing this song. This is called Corcovado, and in English you may know it as Quiet Nights of Quiet Stars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cantinho, violão, esse amor, uma canção pra fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra sonhar. Da janela vê-se o Corcovado redentor, que lindo. Quero a vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim, até o apagar da velha chama. E eu que era triste, descrente desse mundo, ao encontrar você eu conheci. Oh, que felicidade, meu amor. Já
Nice. You know, another thing that we should mention is that we have a lot of musicians on SingSpace and they've never even met in person. Like we've never met Michael.
I know, it's true. And I've done so many gigs on SingSpace with you, Michael. I feel like I know you, but I've never met you in person.
I was thinking about that when we started this today. Yeah, it would be nice when we get to be. Actually, my one grumble with the virtual right now is that we should be able to walk out of SingSpace portal into Hawaii. That would be the thing to do right now.
That would be so cool.
Well,
What do you say, Sarah and Craig? Can we
can give you we can give you a virtual Hawaii.
I'm not looking for a virtual.
No, you want
he
the
wants
real
the real
world.
Hawaii.
Okay. Yeah.
The virtual concert is fun.
Well,
But when I turn this off, it's going to be minus 10 Celsius outside.
yeah.
And the snow, the wind has blown snow over the walk that I already shoveled.
Uh-oh.
And I would like to walk outside and drink a fresh fruit juice. I
Oh,
love
yeah. A
tropical
Mai
fruit.
Tai. I want that too.
Tropical fruit in
I will
season.
get to work on that, Michael.
Please,
It's going to cost you a little bit extra.
if you can get me a fresh guava or papaya in season,
Yeah.
then I will pay.
I mean, it's been such a wonderful thing for us, just for networking with musicians, right? And with audience too. You know, so we had a guy, this is Bob Bruff I'm talking about. So Bob and Mark Ferguson, who's another musician who plays on SingSpace, they played the other day together. Apparently they haven't played together for 40 years.
Wow.
And they played together on SingSpace, which is pretty cool. And they're doing a gig together, all right, in a couple of months, right?
I was just thinking those guys are that old, but I guess they are.
Holy cow.
Yeah, cool.
Do we have time for another tune, or should we finish off with a blues? What do you guys think? I don't know. What do Sarah and Craig say?
Check in with Craig and Sarah.
Craig and Sarah.
One more tune. You can do one more tune.
finish
One
up?
more tune.
One more tune. Okay.
And by the way,
Okay,
I mean,
all right,
we're
thank
all
you
up
so much.
for you guys showcasing.
I would just like to say, before we finish up, a huge thank you to Craig and Sarah for having me on as a guest teacher this morning. It was so much fun to teach you guys, and I can't wait. I didn't get to see Sarah's part of the workshop because I was rushing over here, and I was literally like sweating as I ran over. But I can't wait to watch it again. I'm sure it was awesome, and hopefully we've given you lots of food for thought, lots of stuff to think about in how to approach jazz arranging on the ukulele and reharmonization options and stuff like that. And don't forget that you, of course, can go back and replay all that stuff. There's no expectation that you should be able to necessarily follow along and play all this stuff in the first time in real time. But with that said, I also want to thank Adrian for inviting us to be part of this SyncSpace showcase as well. We're just delighted to be able to use SyncSpace to play together like this. And please also put your hands together at home for Dave Renaud on the clarinet and Michael Herring on the bass. And Dave is in Gatineau, Quebec. Michael is in Toronto. And I am here in Ottawa. And so is Adrian. So this is just so much fun. And of course, Sarah and Craig are in Hawaii. So we've got multiple connections happening, and it's all just happening over the internet, which is so cool. We are going to finish up with a blues by Billie Holiday. It's a great tune, and it's pretty uplifting. So, and I can't remember what we agreed for solos. So I think we're just going to wing it.
That's dangerous.
It's jazz.
It's jazz.
I'll be
Okay.
right behind you.
Okay.
Half a beat.
12 up front? Yeah?
Right, sure.
With Dave? Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love that man, tell the world I do. Love that man, tell the world I do. But when he mistreats me, makes me feel so blue. Man wouldn't give me no breakfast, wouldn't give me no dinner. Fought me about my supper, then he put me outdoors. Had the nerve to lay a matchbox on my clothes. I didn't have so many, but I had a long way to go. Oh, I love that man. I'm a liar if I say I don't. Love that man. I'm a liar if I say I don't. But I'll quit that man. I'm a liar if I say I won't. Sho ba ba doo ya dwee da ba doo ya doo pwee ba ba doo ya doo pwee ba ba doo ya doo pwee ba yo ba dwee ba ba dwee ba yo ba yo ba dwee da dee da dwee am doo ba ba doo dwee. Been your slave ever since I've been your babe. Been your slave ever since I've been your babe. But before I'll be a dog, I'll see you laying in your grave. Some men like me 'cause I'm happy, some 'cause I'm snappy. Some call me honey, others think I've got money. Some tell me, baby, you're built for speed. Well, when you put that all together, makes me everything a good man needs.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Craig and Sarah for giving us the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what we are doing at SyncSpace. And as I mentioned before, if you want to go and find out more, you can just go to the website or check things out on YouTube. And perhaps we will see you at the show next week, just in case you didn't grab it before. That's the coupon code to get a free ticket to next week's concert. Any parting words, Diane?
No, just want to say a big thank you to Craig and Sarah and remind everybody that I have a bunch of free resources on that website that we were telling you about before, ukuleleforjazzsingers.com, including a few lessons on 2-5-1s and putting them into context in the examples of tunes like 1-6-2-5s in Blue Moon or Cheek to Cheek 2-5-1s, all that stuff. So you can go and watch some free little nugget lessons there, and there's some blog posts and stuff like that. And also, we hope you will join us for the Ukulele Jazz Festival in May, where myself and Adrian and Sarah and Craig are all going to be teaching. And again, I think Sarah and Craig put the coupon code for that. It's called Extra 10. That gives you an extra 10% off the early bird registration for that. So hope to see you guys there too. And I think with that, we'll turn it back over to Craig and Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Adrian. Je voudrais du Fred Astaire, revoir à la Técoère. Je voudrais toujours te plaire dans mon jardin